Well, guys, here we are. How many years later? I guess this was parked in I want to say 1981. This was parked in Mom and Dad's garage. It's been in the garage since '81. It drove in there on its own accord. So that's about 42 years sitting without running. We're gonna see if we can fire Dad's first new car, first car he ever bought new. We're gonna see if we can fire it up. My '73 Gremlin X. It's getting a little rough, got a little mouse infestation damage in there, not too terrible, I guess. We got a lot of rust going on though down at the rockers and the fenders. The driver's door is a little dented in. I forgot to put it in park when I was, I guess, 12 or 13. Drove it over to a friend's house. Our parents were all at work, and parked it in the top of his hill in his driveway, and never threw it in park. We got out and walked towards the house, and there it went down the hill a little bit until it sideswiped the tree. And you know, it's a little scuffed there, a little dented. I don't know if I got to get a skin for that. The motor is not wanting to turn at all, but it ran when it was parked, so I just pulled all the plugs out. As you can see, them sitting there, 5 of which are brand new. Only one of them's got use on it. I guess I was trying to get it running and gave up at one point, but it's got, looks like new wires and cap and everything, and I just bought all that for it. If I'd have realized that, I wouldn't have bought it, but might as well put all the new shit in, huh? Or maybe I'll see if it runs first and I don't know, save it for the rebuild. So definitely, it's got about 280,000 on it, I think. Never been touched. Transmission's never been serviced. It just kept running and running. The only thing it ever had was brakes and, you know, spark plugs maybe, and a couple starter solenoids, I remember, and maybe this. I don't believe that's an original charging whirler controller. Still got the original radiator, I believe, which I'll probably just have that rotted out. But oh, it definitely needs a fender. I don't know, unless somebody can fix that. That's pretty bad. It'd probably be better just get another one. I'd like to keep it as original as possible, but we're gonna see if we can get her fired up. I don't know if it'll happen tomorrow. The dog died recently, and I got more time on my hands. Gotta keep my mind off of him because I miss him terribly. But we'll see what happens. I got a carb kit because I'm not even going to attempt to run fuel into that thing. Been sitting for 42, 43 years. Yeah, it might even been more like 79. Somewhere between 79 and 81. It might have been as much as 45 years. Not sure. I got no brake pedal at all. The master was empty. But I filled it up and pumped on it a while, and I got nothing. It was pretty clean. I don't know. There's no fluid coming out of the drums, but the master cylinder itself's kind of wet. I don't know, I guess the gasket on the lid's just leaking when I was pumping on it maybe. But I'll get this carburetor off of here. The cylinders are filled with PB Blaster. I'll try to work it back and forward tomorrow and see if I can get it to move. If I can get it to move, I'll crank that PB out of there. Then we'll see if we can get some spark and fuel. And go from there. Man, that's just dirt. That battery tray is solid. Wow. Still got an overflow. No, that's not an overflow, is it? Because there's a, I think that's windshield washer. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. I'm almost afraid to hook the battery up to it. I got a good one sitting over there for it. I hope it's the right direction on the terminals. Those are not the original size wheels. You can't even get the original size tire, but I'm sure I can get something close or a little bigger. These are way smaller. They don't even fill the wheel wells enough to even make it look normal, but it is what it is. I think this had remote mirrors, did it? Yes, remote mirrors. They're manually remote, but they're remote. Dash still don't look too bad. The ashtray's missing. Oh, it's laying on the floor down there under that spare tire. Got the spare tire cover. The seats are pretty well shot in the front, but the back is like brand new if I clean them off. They're pretty good yet. No tears or rips. Got dealer installed luggage rack from new. It was put on before we picked it up. He, you know, it was a dealer accessory. I don't know how many dealers were putting them onto the AMC, the Gremlins, but I imagine it was something that was readily available to fit that roof, because that's not your everyday roof contour. The wing was factory, however. That's a Gremlin X thing, I think. The old Gremlin X. I don't have all the amenities of the Vice Grip garage or the video know-how, but we'll get her going. I got the fixer-upper know-how. Not much on body work though. It's going to need a lot of that. But I haven't decided to go hot rod or original, but it was my dad's and it was his first car and he loved it. But he did love GMs too. I could stuff anything in it. But he was a Chevy guy, but he got this because it was cheap. That's why most people bought them back then. They were cheap and fairly economical and pretty damn powerful for a little car, straight six. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. I don't remember if that shifter knob is original. I'm thinking it is not. I think my dad screwed that on there one day. I don't know. I'll have to research that one, but I think it had a green and black type vinyl covered knob. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that's original to Dad. That's what Dad had in it, so I'll probably keep that. I don't know. I might get an original for shows. I do want to make it original. Wow. Look at that seat belt up there. That thing is like brand new. The headliner. Wow, the headliner is like new. There's no dome light cover. That probably rotted off of there and cracked apart. I think I remember burning my finger on that son of a bitch. Excuse my French. You know, when you're a kid, you got to touch that dome light. We all learn them lessons. But I think I'm going to call it a night. Got it pushed in, got the cylinder soaking, and probably come in here tomorrow morning. Well, I'll probably go up here to AutoZone first. I ordered a master cylinder because it's not exactly safe pushing it around here without any breakage at all. And the e-brake cables seem to be pretty well frozen. I don't think Dad ever used the e-brake, you know, but yeah. Still trying to decide whether I'm going to pull that valve cover before I go cranking on it, because there was a lot of mouse nestage type stuff down in the oil fill hole. I wonder if I can get a cap for that tomorrow. Anyway, I don't know if there's, you know, completely filled with mouse nest all the way through that cover. It probably wouldn't be good to start it with that in there if it is. Maybe I can get my little camera in there and see if it's fairly clean. I'll just go ahead and start it, but because I'm eventually going to rebuild it, pull it all apart and rebuild it. I just want to get it going, get some brakes, and I think I need an idler arm for the steering, and hell, it's pretty clean underneath. No floor holes, no leaking. I mean, the transmission's clean. Unbelievable. For whatever, 200 and some, let me see, I forget. Oh, it's 267. No. Wait a minute, that's tenths over there. Now I'm confused. Could that be tenths, or is it only 226,720? I don't know. Let's get a better view of it here. But anyways, it says 26726 and 9, but the 9 is in white, so I'm thinking that's tenths. So it must be 226,000. But Dad drove this for, my goodness, about 8 years, 60 miles each way every day to work. Yeah, that's pretty good hike every day, 120 miles a day for like, I don't know, 8 years. See, he got it in 73, and that's when we moved out to the country, and he still worked down in Baltimore and Bethlehem Steel, and the next car he got was the 81 Oldsmobile, which that was a mistake. But anyway, so 73 to 87 years, so about 7 years of 120 miles a day, you know. All right, wow, it's only AM. I forgot about that. Boy, this thing's got AC, factory AC, and man, was it ever the coldest AC you'd ever want to feel in your life. I mean, you could see the frost rolling out of them vents on a hot day. I mean, it was cold. Cold AC, R12, and I'm probably going to rebuild that and get it filled with R12. We'll get it back to the way it was. But yeah, it was a fun car to drive, you know. It didn't always want to turn when you turn the wheels, you know. These cars, these Gremlins, like to go straight when you turn the corner, but maybe I can give it a little, I don't know, do something with the front end and make it a little more manageable, and maybe not as noticeable. You know, give it a little more caster maybe. These things, I looked up the setting on it. It says 0 caster. So I don't know if that was right. I got to recheck on that, but that just doesn't sound right. But 0 caster, I mean, it's like, you know, driving a shopping cart more or less. But it did turn a tight corner though. Anyway, I'm rambling. Just kind of excited to get started on it, even though I don't have any money yet. But it's going to be one of those projects when I do have money that's going to get attention, among many others. Well, have a nice evening, you guys. I'll be back in the morning and start tearing apart that carburetor and see what I got. See ya.